learning. And I never understood that until I started working with the kids. Me and Sam opened a business, being the only Black owners on this particular island. We done these things by learning. Sam got a degree in marketing, and Sam will tell you, bro, that don't mean nothing when you actually on the job doing it.
When you're on the job doing it,
you actually
really
on the job
don't.
doing it. But with that also being said, was he still got education to back some of the things that he didn't learn in the classroom. So for me now, I'm following behind because I like being the less smart dude in the group. So I follow behind everybody. One of our partners is a RN, but she's our accountant. She never went to school for that. Never went to school for that. But she learns. So your brain is always capable of learning. And in the day and age is now, if you telling me right now, maybe you can't afford to go to college for $100,000s, right? But if you telling me college is for free right now, then why not do it right now? Right. But it's the fear of acceptance, and we lost that vision because people do not truly have the confidence to believe that they don't have to be what environment is or what other people expect them to be. And that's just what it is, man. I'm a book author. Yeah. I wrote a children's book. I got a children's book published. Sam will tell you, when I was 15 years old, they would never say that Brandon Copeland is going to be a published children's book author. And I don't mind them even remotely saying that because it's the truth. Why? Because I didn't see past what I thought I was supposed to be. And I didn't grow up with parents that didn't tell me nothing. My mama was on me all the time. I didn't have the confidence to be smart, dude. I've always loved writing. I've always loved English.
Let's be honest.
Never applied myself.
We didn't look up to our parents though, right?
Nope.
And that's how our young people get left behind. The people they look up to. I looked up to the cat that was up the street, and you know who I'm talking about, Cope. That's the one that was stealing cars. That's how I learned how to steal cars. You know what I'm saying? Why am I hanging out with a grown man as a teenager who teaches me how to steal cars? You know,
steal cars.
I looked up to that. I don't know why, but before you knew it, I was stealing cars. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. The main thing is, and Cope said it. He said it best. Believe it or not, people may not admit to it, but everybody wants to be accepted. That's a human being thing that we all have.
Right.
Like when you're dating, when you're trying to find a friend, think about it. When you apply for a job, don't you want to be accepted?
Yes, sir.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the whole point of it.
Or when you do anything, you want to be accepted. Like, think about it. That's close. We just signed on in a Zoom. Then we had to be accepted to get in the group. Come on, man. Right. Like just simple stuff. Like everybody in life has to be accepted. And that's the core need of every human being. So when you in an environment and you looking, searching, trying to find it, you want to be accepted. Guess what? When you apply for college, guess what? You want to be accepted.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? When you find your job, you start your business, you ain't got to worry about being accepted because you are the, come on, y'all, you are the acceptance. Yeah. That's like you said, old girl she didn't go to school for math. You know why? She didn't have to because that's her gift.
Yeah.
She automatically has it.
Let's go there.
Said it best. If you're gonna be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper.
Yes,
if you if whatever you do and be the best at it, and people are starting to forget that.
And that's why we're not finding success like we're supposed to find, because we run from our gift. Trying to do something that God didn't call us to do with our lives, right? We run from our gifts. And there's nothing against the young lady that's doing y'all books for y'all, but how many of these people run out here to be RNs because they know RNs make money?
Make money,
that's
right.
not the gift. You
That's half the city.
You don't even like people, but you want to go care for them because they make $32 an hour. Is why you go and do that. But that's not fair to me and my loved ones because you giving me half service on your bad day because you're not working in your gift.
Come on, man. Right. And everybody can't do it. It's not for everybody. Like I went to school, and people may not know this. I went and got my CNA license. That's at the bottom. That's not even LPN, RP. That's the people who do the dirty work. Like the people who got to flip people over, people who can't move, You got to wipe their butt. You got to give them a bath. Like I was that dude doing that. And it took me a special, I'll never forget her name. Oh, Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson broke me in, baby. Miss Johnson was like, hey, come give me a bath, baby. She was like, I was like, this is my clinicals. This is my clinicals. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Well, I didn't sign up for. But you know, but like I said, when we doing things, sometimes it's bigger than us because my mom ended up having a bypass on her leg and I had to go home and take care of her. Me being a CNA, I knew stuff that the nurse didn't do because she was doing it for money and not doing it just to help people.
Yeah. Right.
So I was like, now I see me being a CNA, it came in handy because now I'm able to do something for other people to where if I broke down and lost everything, I can go to an old folks home. Because they're gonna need somebody to turn somebody over.
Because that's a skill you got. You got. And that's something you get on the front line. You get them skills on the front line.
You know what's funny is somebody was talking, they broke up. I cut somebody off, man. My bad. Who was that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. You know what's funny is so the business me and Sam is fitness, all right? The same thing, acceptance, having a title, right? Personal training, right? How many personal trainers do we see now that just want to be accepted for being that?
Yeah.
Do you love fitness? Do you love it?
Can't give you one exercise.
You know what I'm saying? So do you love it, or is it because it can make you a social butterfly when you know, people want to talk to the trainer? Man, listen, I love this shit so much, right? I keep cussing on this, my bad. I love it so much, right? I love fitness, dog. Literally, that literally has been something for literally my mental health, right? Legit, fitness is what it is. So I have it hit different when I'm training somebody. Like I don't really care who come through the door. A lot of people only train women. A lot of people only train for likes and stuff like that. So, like you said with the nurse thing, people jump into that because it's that $32. Do you really care about it? We see this with everything. We see this with fitness. Yeah. I see this, to be honest with you, I see this in a classroom with teachers, yo. And I don't know why a teacher would go through all of that just for a paycheck. I don't understand. Paycheck. For a small paycheck.
I wouldn't have taught me. I wouldn't have been my teacher.
Right.
That's why I left the fitness industry, man.
We made our teacher quit.
I like what I do. I'm the cleanup man. I go in that classroom, but I'm not sitting with you all day, bro. You're going to get it together within that hour I got to deal with you, but I can't teach, man. Ain't no way I can sit in the classroom and teach and go through what these teachers go through. And I'm looking at you like, this is not just a job to have. Like, you got to love doing this, dealing with these type of cats. You got to love doing this.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you what, this whole shelter in place situation, quarantine or whatever, it done told a lot of people that they wasn't teachers. So hopefully people realize, you know, you done been locked in the house with your nieces, your nephews, your sons, your daughters, whoever. Hopefully you realize you really don't like kids the way you thought you did. And you stay away from that classroom if you don't like kids, man.
Yes, sir.
It's sad, man. And we, you know, it's sad that that's how people do to get involved. That's another thing too, man. Like y'all was talking about the free education. We excited because it's actually stuff in there that we would love to get a free education on because we love it. We would love that extra knowledge, not just to get in something for money. How many times, what have we ever done for money that we still do today? For money solely, because it was good money. Does anybody on here right now, you seen something and it was like, man, that made good money, but you hate it. Who did that? Who's still doing that? People don't do that for long.
I was that way in the fitness industry, bro.
Huh?
So for me, I got into personal training and I got into it because I used to be an athlete. But when I dove into it, I got into it and I was like, I'm gonna take it seriously. So I got my biomechanics of engineering, I got my PN. I was like, I'm gonna go into the field for real. I'm gonna do it. Right. Like you said earlier, you're surrounded by so many people that's in it for the likes, the looks. I'm like, man, you can't even coach somebody on a move.
No.
Let me get the booty bigger. Like, come on, what? That's not. And bro, like to me, like if I was like, if I'm gonna do a job, I'm going all in. I'm gonna learn my skill for real.
Right.
And that field is so saturated. Like you said, look at Instagram right now. You see all of these people in fitness now. All of these people want to be a trainer because they want to
got 1 meal
they want to be seen.
Did you see what the real thing? Everybody had a training program for you on social media.
Bro,
the last
everybody.
I'm like,
Everybody.
You don't even go to the gym. When did you start working out? How you gonna train me? But everybody put out a fitness plan and sign up for my fitness plan, $30, $25, or whatever. And it's like, do what it is you love to do.
Right.
Because the way I've always been taught was if you would do it for free, it's a lot of things that I would do for free. I love doing lawn maintenance, right? Mm-hmm. I would do it for free. So that means if I go and work in that field again, I'm going to put my all into it because I enjoy creating beautiful landscapes. You know what I'm saying? Do what it is you would do for free. Most of these people wouldn't do personal training for free because you got to deal with some people that you may not want to deal with, and you're going to have some situations that you may not like. You're going to have some confrontations. And I'm going to be honest with you. Ain't nothing against personally against any trainer, but Cope and Sam know we work out in a couple of the same gyms, and I see some of the trainers that's big as a building. How is you training me? I'm supposed to give you my money.
Get yourself right.
And you haven't even applied the principles you telling me to apply. I find that kind of hard, me personally.
Because anybody can take a test. Not anybody. There's some super intelligent people that can pass a training course online. You feel me?
Right.
That to give you that, like Andre was saying, he said he took it a step further. So when he decided to go and get the biomechanics, first of all, that's one thing that people are missing. How does the muscle work? How does the body work? Where is this muscle at? What movements can you do to solely target this muscle? That's where I got certified in 2002. I wasn't a good trainer until I was 30 years old. I know what I'm saying? I'll be 40 in June. And the reason why is because I stopped training because I knew I wasn't worth 2 flies smash. And I love it too much to send out a bad product. Now you can work out with me,
but you was
at that time, I'm not training you.
You had to be honest with yourself though, right? It took some, you had to be honest with yourself.
I had to be honest with myself, absolutely.
That's it. That's the main key. He allowed, once you honest with yourself and you accept the truth of who you really are and what you really know how to do, that's when you know how to humble yourself and say, you know what, maybe I do need to just stop playing and go get this 6-week course that's free. Maybe I do need to go, you know what I'm saying? Because believe it or not, fellas, it's up to us. Like we are the new modern age Martin Luther King. Like it's up to us. Yeah. Like that's, I mean, the history is already been written. But what are we doing about it? Like we doing our best, but are we really doing our best? Like, are we really connecting with one another and say, hey, let's go on a plan. Let's cope. Let's get this thing like this month. Let's reach out to 10 schools and try to get 100 students on Zoom. Like, are we really doing that and giving 100% like we know how to do it? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's up to us. We can complain about it or we can do something about it. And I'm about doing something about it, regardless if I'm doing it for free or not. The bottom line is, if I can just reach one soul, I've reached my job.
Yeah. And that's what Cope was.
I didn't have this coming up. Y'all know we ain't had this coming up.
No.
Like you said, we looked at the OGs. You know what I'm saying? And even the Bible says you train a person up that they should go and they won't depart from it. But the truth be told, not everybody getting trained right. So that's why it's hard for a lot of people to depart from it because they ain't been trained right. So now you 30 years old trying to change something you've been doing your whole life.
Yeah. And see, that's like me with the life insurance thing. So I do life insurance now. I don't even like life insurance. But this is the reason why I got into the business. I know it's a problem in our community and our culture. The Black wealth in our community is less than 0%. That means we leave. We leave
zero.
Come on, bro.
I mean, I knew that was an issue. And for me, I've always, I'm a history nerd. And so for me, it was like, if we're going to move our culture forward as the past greats did, I kind of look at it as taking that baton and like, look, I got to do this. You think Martin and Malcolm wanted to sacrifice their life? Come on, man. You think they wanted to? And for me, it was always the bigger picture is I look at it as like, my life is not my own. It's so much more people I can help change. And for me, it was actually educating my community and all people. It's not just my community. I just know we the furthest left behind.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, we got to fix this, because if we don't, and the way things are trending now, look how many people are suffering.
So let's talk about life insurance. Let's make that shift.
Okay.
Can you give us a high level example of what somebody would pay that's in their 20s maybe for life insurance?
Okay, so the thing about life insurance, it depends on age and health. That's the two things that matter the most. And most people in our community, we wait till we're 40. Well, by the time you wait till you're 40, sometimes you're gonna get a cheaper or a low policy for a high premium, where you could have got a high premium for cheaper at a younger age. But we don't look at ourselves as, oh, I ain't gonna die no time soon.
It ain't gonna happen to me, right?
It ain't gonna happen. Yeah. But it actually has nothing to do with that. It's really about protecting your assets. And you the biggest asset. You are your family's biggest asset.
We don't view ourselves as assets though, do we?
Huh?
I said, I don't think we view ourselves as assets though.
That's the thing. We don't view ourselves as assets.
No.
Yeah. So we don't even look at
better care about our clothes.
Yep. Yep. And so when I started studying is why is that we grew up, we've been in survival mode for so long. We don't even think long term. We thinking about it now. Like they can't picture paying $110 a month for something they can't see. What? They're like, bro, I can go get this now, shoes and all this, pay $110 for a $300 policy. Man, look, I ain't about to die. I'll wait. That's the mentality.
Yeah.
And so it's, for me, I was like, all right, I got to go back and understand how we got here. And then it's trying to learn to break that cycle. And, just really educating them, because this is the thing for me, the way I see our country going, man, we a target. Let's be real, we a target. Hey, you look at just how struggling. Yeah. And so I'm trying to get people to think 2 generations next. Right. If we can think 2 generations next, like think about if, the Harriet Tubmans and stuff like that didn't think about, oh, I'm just good now, bro. I'm just gonna make it through and live good. No. They was like, no, we got to do something. If we don't do nothing, who's gonna do it? Yeah. And that's so for me, that's what made me start to study it and look at it different. That's how I started to really understand it. Like, oh, this makes sense. Because man, in that book, there's so many little things that's not taught in insurance. And if people get into whole life policies, because you can just take out a loan on them. Well, this is the thing. Insurance is pure protection only. So what I would do is talk to somebody like, look, are you looking for protection or are you looking for a loan? If you really want to take out a loan on your policy, you might want to go with these type of policies. I'm going to keep it 100. I ain't a salesman. So I'm going to just be honest, because I ain't trying to deal with your rap policies, none of that. I'm going to be a buck with you. What are you looking for? What do you want? And then once they decide, I'm like, okay, well, I don't do that, but I can direct you to somebody like that. Because I just don't want somebody getting scammed over either. Right. Whether they sign a deal with me or not, I want you to at least be educated on what you're doing. And what you do from there is, man, it's going to talk for yourself. Because, I always feel like if I speak truth, they're going to always recommend me. They're like, man, he a real dude. Like, he didn't try to sell me. He was legit educating me. And, I believe if you do that, what you sow is what you reap. And I know if I take that patient route, like God said, patience. If you take that patience route, do things the right way, everything gonna work itself out. You gotta be content with that. That's how I look at it, man.
You know what's crazy? In 2004, I was almost murdered. And when I think back on it now, it's like everybody else was responsible for putting me in the grave had I went. Everybody else, that financial burden, and the funeral business is the truth. That financial burden would have been on everybody else. So even like I said, as I got older to think about it, and then the more people you see die at a young age, and you see these GoFundMes and you see these fundraisers trying to help bury people. I've been to some funerals, bro, to where I'm talking about young people. I've been to funerals where I went to one particular one back in 2000, I think 9, maybe 8, and it was a wood box. Like that's not they couldn't afford it, and they was too prideful to ask for help But that unexpected death at a young age, that girl was buried in a wood box, like you know what I'm saying, like a vampire or some shit. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like you put this woman in a wood box with some makeup on. That it was devastating, man.
It's so common. That's so common, and it's
well,
like you
because,
said. Go ahead, Will.
Well, I mean, and I could be wrong, but I think it's just we don't prepare to go, but we prepare to stay.
Yep.
That's survival mode. That's survival mode. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody, like even when my niece died, she was 23 years old, had cancer, and she had 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was talking to her, she didn't even want to have the conversation. I'm like, look,
about going right.
If we don't talk about this now, the kids gonna go in foster care.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm saying, so let's talk about it. She didn't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? She was just like I'm like, honey, like I love you. I watch your mama die in my arms. And you about to do the same thing, but we need to have this conversation so we don't repeat the same cycle that you almost went through. You know, when your mama died at 30 years old and she had 5 kids. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna let it happen again when we can have a conversation about it. You know, and it was just when we had that conversation, she was like, she didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And luckily we got to that point where we talked about it, because otherwise it was gonna be a burden.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing you see that's so common is it's a burden on the family. I mean, I wish I watched my aunt have to sell her truck to bury her sister.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that and they're okay with it. That's the thing. They're okay with it. And it's like, okay, this is a real issue. We got to actually legit fix something in our brain, because that's not okay. And it's hard. It's a lot of work understanding our people. And you got to understand, for me, I had to understand you can't save everybody.
Nope.
And it's hard because my mentality is like, I'm trying to pull us all out.
Right.
But if you've seen the movie Harriet Tubman, man, she was ready to leave him. She said, I ain't going back. I'm leaving you.
I love that movie, man. Yeah.
Man, it's so powerful. And I had to content myself, even with family. I can't leave y'all here. I can't make y'all want to build generational wealth. I can't make you want to do group economics. That's been the one thing that's kept me in Kansas City, is my family. Because I wanted to literally change our whole legacy. And the more work I kept trying to want to do and put into myself, invest in myself, I kept trying to go back to my family, give them the same resources. Networking, no matter if, hey, I books, anything I can give you to make you want to put the work in, I was trying to give it to them. And I couldn't. I can't make you do it. And man, it was a gut check, because I had to literally say, I love your heart. You got a good heart, but I got to cut a strict boundary with you now. Because I can't keep being around you trying to do something different, because I'm only going to pull myself down. And that's a real conversation I had to have with myself and God. I talked to him about it. And all I could hear him say is, I did my best. I was obedient. I did what he asked me to do. I had the conversations. I tried. It's in his hands now. And man, that was a tough one for me, because man, family's everything. But then I had to redefine family. Family is now more my kids and my wife. And people like these relationships, family don't always mean blood to me no more.
Right. Yeah. It's scary to think, man, that the hardest thing to cut off is human beings.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing to cut off, especially when you got, when it hurts so bad when you know somebody about to screw up. You feel me? So yeah, if you don't got, it can wait. Man, Sam will tell you right now, we dealing with a former friend, former business partner, that his departure and his dishonesty and his disloyalty to us and our business caused me to have some health issues, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it caused me to have some blood pressure issues, bro. Like, to the point to where it was like, I need to check myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know your pattern. I know that if I don't do this for you, if I don't get your mind right, I know you're going to crash. But like you said, why is that on me to make sure that man don't crash? Right. I've told him. Sam has told him. Others have told him. So why is it up to me to make sure this man don't crash? At the end of the day, like you said, I got a family too. So at the end of the day, I gotta leave some of that effort for them. And we sitting here talking to a grown man, trying to make sure he don't crash and burn and see the vision like we see it. But you talking to a brick wall when somebody already got in their mind a different agenda. You can't tell nobody nothing.
Right.
This was the hardest gut check I've ever had in my life when it comes to stuff like this. Because I literally begged somebody
acceptance
to see the vision, to not ruin your family. I need you to understand that you ruining your life. I'm begging you to stop. Yep. How you gonna talk to another grown man and beg him not to ruin his life?
Yeah, you can't
do it.
Vision. One God gave you the vision. You know what I'm saying? So I learned my lesson there. You can't get everybody to see. You gotta, like my man said, some people you just gotta let go. You tried your best, and God know you tried your best. Then we have to let them go, especially when it lead to high blood pressure, brother. We don't want no help.
So the problem with me is, man, I'm still borderline retarded. So I'll be thinking of ways to hurt this dude without getting caught. So it's like, because I tell people this, man. I tell people this. Yeah, I shouldn't say retarded, but I tell people this. This real talk. I tell people this, like, look, man, a dude in the street can say whatever he want about me.
Right.
He can say whatever he want. He can say he just can't touch me. He can't touch my family, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you my brother, and I ain't talking about just family, I'm talking about love, I will kill my brother, man. I will kill my brother dead before I do that to a dude in the street. Why? Because my brother know the struggles. We went through them together. We went through this process together. You see me at my weakest. You see me at my strongest. You lift me up. I lift you up. So you should never cross that boundary.
Yeah.
Dude in the street don't know you. He just jealous from a distance or whatever. But a cat that you know, that you got personally invested emotions and all that, and you will kill for this cat. You will do whatever for this cat, whether it's blood brother or not. To me, can't kill Abel, man. And I can't take stuff like that. So this process we going through now, to where we got to legally defend ourselves to this clown, is hurtful. It's hurtful because I took hits for him outside of this. Yeah. So you cannot, like you said, my mental health is more important than anything right now. So I had to completely let that shit go and not worry about nothing somebody gonna say that don't look in the mirror and find the true problem, because that's something that I do. Everything that we deal with in life, the answer's in the mirror always. Whether good or bad, it's always in the mirror. Like a lot of stuff we can't control. Certain health things we can't control, but we can control a lot of negative and positive shit in our life. So yeah, you're right, man. I that was a gut check for real when you literally see somebody crashing and burning and you want them to do better, but you actually dragging yourself deeper down with them. I'm getting high blood pressure dealing with somebody that don't want better.
It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to face, and it's usually our own people. Like you said, it's our own people, and it makes you snap more than anything else because. Yeah. But I literally love you, and I would die next to you. I would give you everything I got. And for you to either do me wrong or not hear me out, like it hurts. And man, for me, it was like when I realized that, I was like, look, I gotta have boundaries on my family. I got to, because it would make, like you said, it'd make me snap. It would make me snap trying.
Let me ask you a question. We're talking a lot about health. So as Black men, what do you find as a tool to help you in that area of mental health, right? Not just our physical health, but mental health, right? Because this deals with the mind, right? One to put hands on somebody deals with the mind, right?
Right.
How do you cope when you get to situations like that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, for me personally, you know, in my early 20s, you know what I'm saying, I was, wilding out, bouncing and doing all that shit, and then you know what I'm saying, when I got stabbed, it was kind of like a gut check. But this is what's crazy about mental health. Being stabbed didn't scare me until I was 35. Until I was 35, it was like, dude, you almost died, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't scare me back then because you was filled with so much I was filled with so much negativity that didn't even scare me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna get out the hospital and be back on the dumb stuff and act no different. It didn't really scare me. And this was at the time where my daughter's mother left her. This is all in about a 2-year span. I became a father. So I knew that part I had to be, but I still, in my mind, I'm still was mentally that guy that would get in a particular situation to be hurt again because I don't got no control. You know what I'm saying? So what it was for me was when I got introduced to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a martial art, and I had when aggression became controlled, when you was able to I was able to be physical, but also able to think. You had to be smart on the mat too. So when I got into that, it was like, wow, okay. And I'm not understanding that I'm starting to change now. I'm starting to kind of change how I'm thinking. A lot of stuff ain't really getting to me like it used to. I'm really not, I don't want to be in the bouncing. I don't want to do that stuff no more. And when it became that, it started to change me mentally until I got to about 35 years old. And now I've been doing jiu-jitsu over 15 years right now, going on 16. It took me till I was 35 to be like, damn. Like I was stabbed July 24th, 2004. July 24th, when I was 35 that year, I realized like, dude, you was almost not even here today. Like it really was a gut check. Like, dude, you 35 years old, you wasn't supposed to be here. And my mother said, it was an article in the paper. My mother said when she was coming to the hospital, she had every intention to come identify the body of her oldest son. So thinking about that now, thinking about what my mother was going through and stuff like that, thinking about where my mentals was, it's crazy. So you have to, like he said, your life is just not yours. My mama got to deal with that. My daughter was abandoned by her mother back then. So what would she be? What would she be?
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So it was a lot of things that mentally now you got to start checking yourself. So now my mental health, my anger and stuff like that, I go to the gym. You understand what I'm saying? Train jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, teach it. Those are things I love to do. Those are things that I can get out. And I just honestly feel like when you a black man and we come from the hood, we came up fighting and all that stuff, I feel like the gym is the best aggression to get out. I feel like that's the best. Okay. I do. That's me personally. I feel like to go get that anger out, go move some shit around and sweat a little bit.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I think you worked it out. I think you worked it out just like a lot of us as black men just had to figure it out, man. If you look back at our culture at home, like mental health is just thrown to the side. Like, he's just crazy. Or he crazy like his daddy.
That ain't even saying crazy. Black people, we look at a dude standing on a corner in Power Ranger pajamas, leaking a lollipop at 60 years old and say ain't nothing wrong with him.
Ain't nothing wrong with him. His daddy was on that stuff. That's why he act like that. Right. But that's just our culture, man. And if you even think about it right now, as a grown man with access to internet and all that, like I couldn't tell you one resource for mental health right now. I can not point out like if somebody needed help and they reached out to me to get some mental health help, like I have no idea. I have no idea what resources to give them. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. I'm a grown man, so think about a 20-something-year-old kid or a 17-year-old kid that's going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? We go through a lot as black men. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't have resources as 40, you know what I'm saying? At 40, okay, I see you, Vic. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely you'd be one of the first ones I said him to. But yeah, I think that's the problem. That's the main problem. Is like it's not resources up front for our teenagers and our kids, man.
So
they can see.
I think there are resources though, Sam. I think the problem is we run from the resources because we're afraid of being labeled a certain way. And
no. It's not, for sure. There's resources out there. Like I know for a fact there's resources out there. But the problem is, for me as a 16-year-old girl, boy, to get that resource, I need my mom to believe in me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I can't just go there usually. I need my mom to believe it and send me to this resource. Right?
Marlon Wayans, whatever. One of them folks said, we're damaged people because we were raised by damaged people.
By damaged
trying
people.
to get somebody that's got their own issues
Right.
now you and us when they didn't see it in themselves. That's hard.
Right.
That's hard. You know,
exactly.
Our parents have to heal and grow because they went through something. And we a lot of times, I know myself, I was mad at my parents because they didn't see my pain, but they had their own pain they was dealing with.
What's crazy is we just not realizing that, like, they was, and when you're young, you think your parents is like, I don't know what age, like 80 or 90 or whatever, but there was 20-some-year-olds, 30-some-year-olds dealing with crazy stuff, like just like us. You know what I'm saying?
Same stuff we dealing with today, right? It's
right.
like, but there's resources out there, man, and we really have to. One thing I want to see happen for us as men, especially Black men, is to have a safe space, right? Where we can come in the room and we can talk about our issues without Sam saying, "Oh, Vic being soft, man. He over there complaining about soft." We are. So then when I snap, then it's oh man, well why Vic didn't say nothing?
That's right.
So which one are we gonna do? We gotta create a safe space for us to have these conversations about what we're dealing with. Because that, I'm telling you, man, that pressure inside that bottle, when it explodes, it's over with.
We got to get rid of the ego, though, Vic.
That's the key word.
The ego is huge. We got to get rid of the ego.
Got to. Hey, Colt, before I forget, because I'm
go ahead
real quick. This for Colt, man. I remember you were saying about your situation with old boy and what y'all going through. This is something that I know is very hard for us to do, but we have to do it, and it sucks. But we have to get to know that the situations will repeat itself if we don't do the thing that we need to learn from it. That's why people be like, why keep going through the same thing? It's because you haven't learned what you need to learn from it to move on. So what I want to say is, in that situation, you got to give that person grace, even though they don't deserve it, bro. I know it's hard to do. I know that's like, no, like everybody wants grace, but don't nobody want to give it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in that situation, bro, I'll just say, hey, give it grace, because like I said, even though that person don't deserve it, and you know they don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like God had Judas, kissed him and everything. Like
you know what?
But he still gave it to him.
Yeah, and you know what that'll do for you mentally,
man. So there you go. So that's what you was like. What do we do for mental health? And like Sam was saying, everybody experiences a different way, but it's more than one way that people can do it. Like say he went gym, jiu-jitsu, I did sports, but one thing I really tapped into was when I started my company and my business was accepting my truth.
Yeah.
I really had to sit down and be like, why are things happening the way that it is? It's not nobody else. It is me. What am I not, really saying, okay, this is the issue. And what it was, I was molested at 7. I didn't want to accept that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to accept that. I didn't want to accept, as years went along, when my daddy left, the fact I started acting out and got locked up. I didn't want to accept those things. I was like, you know how they say you blame everybody else, but the person I never blamed was me.
Yeah.
Like I never blamed myself. I never got to a point because I hid behind lifting weights. I hid behind going, I got it out, but I didn't get it out. And you know what I'm saying? Like I got it out, but I didn't get it out.
And it's not really a blaming yourself. I don't want somebody to hear us and think, oh, I went through that, it was my fault. And not 100% maybe a portion of it was, but what he's talking about is, and I went through the same thing when the neighbor tried to molest me, right? Why am I going through life with all these weird sexual thoughts? And I looked at women as nothing but pure joy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out until I went to speak to somebody, and it took me back to that experience. And I realized that because that experience happened and I thought I covered it up, I was living out the experience and hurting other people. So what I had to do was look in the mirror and say, here's how you take ownership of the situation. No, I couldn't control that adult who wanted to molest the little kids in the neighborhood. But what I can control is the fact that I can no longer hide what I'm going through, and I got to deal with it head on. That's where you take ownership, or as he said, the blame. And a lot of us, we're afraid of I don't know, we're afraid of having this awareness of self. It's like we judge everybody else and we walk past the mirror and only see our outfit. But stop and look in the mirror and see who you really are. I was broke. I was broke for many years because of my relationship with my parents wasn't right. I didn't like the neighborhood I lived in. Whatever different things, I found reasons to be broke. You start finding reasons to be broke along the way. But when you go back to the foundation of your brokenness, take ownership for that, the rest of it, you'll begin to clean all them pieces up. And for me, that's why my life changed. That's why I started going to seminars for mental health and seminars for personal development and seminars for professional development, because I needed to build me up. And I know people be like, oh man, you gonna spend all that money to go to that seminar? Yeah, because it's for me. Even if I don't go use it in the field to start a business or whatever, what it did on the inside of me helped change my family.
Can't put
that's the key right there, is to deal with mental health, you got to deal with your trauma.
Yep. That's it.
That and that was something I realized, and I'm only 28. I realized at 27 was I had so much trauma from my childhood holding me back, especially when I see myself trying to grow. Like, I was good when I was 25, 26. I made 62,000 and 63,000 back-to-back years. In my early 20s, I mean, from where I grew up, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's a lot.
For just the way I grew up, that was a lot. But I knew I was more than that. And as I kept trying to grow as a man and learning what that was, I kept noticing my traumas kept pulling me back. Like, one thing for sure, I told Will this, I grew up not knowing how to communicate with other strong men. Like, you don't be submissive and talk about this type of stuff with other men, especially men you don't know. Come on, bro. I was taught that. And so that was an area that was weak for me. Like, it was really like, but if we ain't cool like that, I don't know about this, bro. I had a boundary against it. But it took me.
And it's crazy because when you open up, like Dre said, when you open up, you'll realize, be like, man, Coop just like me. But Sam just like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Vic just like me. You be like, man, you went through that too. And so that's why the Bible says iron sharpens iron, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because so many times we grow up, we got our iron, but we knocking it against wood and we ain't getting sharpened. So and that's why I say it takes, like you said, dealing with yourself. Hey V, I don't know if you see I'm on YouTube. I think I'm the only one on YouTube.
Okay.
But
come on there.
But we gotta y'all answered the question already?
I ain't see no question.
Answer the question.
All right, so the question, our question says, take my hand. Oh, that's the first name. It says mental health issues is consistently ignored due to social stigma. How would each of you promote the importance of mental health for men? So that's what we're pretty much going on.
That's what we basically touching on.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell y'all something too, man. Because everything, like, it's crazy. We sitting in this chat room. What is it? 5 of us in here? 4?
Yeah.
And everything y'all saying is relatable to one another. Like, I really relate to everything y'all saying. So it's crazy because I'm gonna tell y'all something, man, about that embarrassment of what men have, especially black men, because we was raised. I was raised. My grandfather, both of them military. You know what I mean? So you didn't really show that type of, because it wasn't accepted back then. Not that they was wrong for not allowing it to be accepted. It wasn't accepted back then. So 2 occasions where I had to break down and reach out to Sam and Vic. Vic could tell you, I hit him up over the summer. I said, Vic, look, man, I need you to say a prayer for me in person. Vic, the true story, right?
True story.
I said, I need you to say a prayer for me in person because, bro, I'm not cool right now. Like, I'm mentally not cool. Some ain't right with me, man. And this was the energy I was feeling from the previous story I was telling y'all about me and Sam partner. Vic said, okay. We didn't get to link up. I caught him in the gym. I said, Vic, man, hey, can we slide over here, man, and we can do that? In the gym, working out, we slide over to the side. He said his word, I kept it moving. That shit don't embarrass me. And none of you suckers better not look over here crazy either. You know what I'm saying? That didn't embarrass me. We went over to the side. He said his word, and we kept it moving. Just 2 days ago, I called Sam crying. Sam, true story. I said, Sam, I gotta find a way to kill this dude, man. I gotta kill this guy. Sam, like, no, man, we good, man. Ain't no anybody worry about that. You know what I'm saying? But I knew I needed to hear something because if I'm left alone thinking that, it's ugly. Like, because I need, my problem is I'm a jump off the ledge type dude. Like, I get to that point to where it's like, you know what? I gotta show you.
And that's
I gotta show you something. And the way you treat me is not cool, and I need you to know that. So that's why now it's so comfortable for me to, in that frustration, to cry and call my homie like, bro, I gotta find a way to kill this guy, man. Say something to me, man, because I gotta find a way to do it to him. But I know I can't do nothing to him because outside of what's obvious, family and this, that, and the third, I'm in partner with Sam, who invested a lot in this. I'm in partner with other people who invested a lot in this. And with our schedules, they depend on me to have my ass out there on that island running that gym when they can't be there. So I can't jump off the ledge. So that's why I reached out to him like, he better say something or it's gonna be the next 48. Out of all of what we do, we got somebody trying to harm it.
Let me ask you a question.
And somebody who know my struggles. You feel me? Like, you know where I'm at mentally, fool. You was around me. Why you think this cool? So
let me ask this question though, real quick, Coach. How did you find comfort in reaching out to myself or Sam or anyone else? Where did you find that comfort at? Because most men are not going to be comfortable calling their boy to cry about a situation, whether it's a girl, whether it's child support, any of that, you know. So how did you find that comfort?
It was easy, really, because to be honest with you, man, when you you're looking for comfort, you look at the vibe that's coming off.
You know where to find it.
You know what I'm saying? You know, look at the vibe. Like, I know I gotta holler at Vic, man. I need him to do this. Because he said something on Facebook. I forgot what you said. And I was like, man, I need to holler at him. You know what I'm saying? And at the particular time, you know, at the particular time, I didn't want Sam and them to worry about me because at that time I was on the island. So I didn't want them to worry about me. Like, dude, he about to lose his damn mind. You feel me? So I called Vic. Vic got together. And what it is was I was so stuck. Like, dude, I can't sleep at night. All I'm thinking about is this dude harming us, trying to harm the business that was a dream that he was supposed to be here to help, that he's trying to ruin. Now he put more effort into trying to hurt us than he did trying to make it successful. So I was sitting there one day and Vic posted something and I said, I'm gonna text dude in the morning. And I did, and you know what I'm saying, things went was. So when I seen him in the gym, I'm like, no, I gotta get that right now. Can we go over here? And we did it. So for me, man, I ain't got no shame in that no more. I don't, because I know my mentals, I know my actions. It don't always add up. It don't always add up.
And that's good, bro. Because I did the same thing just last Tuesday. Like, I had to put my pops in the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in New York, and that was all the way in Jacksonville. So when my mom called me and told me, I was just like, bro, like, I'm about to either be in a straitjacket and hug myself for a while, because the coronavirus got me where I can't travel nowhere, I can't be there, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make it right now. So I literally, instantly stopped what I was doing, got on, you know, Facebook, and called my group, and I was like, bro, I need y'all right now because I'm about to lose it. Yeah. And, you know, they prayed for me and everything, and then, you know, my other group prayed for me. So like, people was praying for me, and you got to get to a point, you got to know when too much is too much. And as men, we know that. Like, we know how much we can carry, and we know how much we can't carry. So, and that's when you got to that point, you be like, sometimes you just got to step out on a limb. That's what we do anyway as men. Like, we don't know it all. We just try to figure it out and do the best for people around us. And sometimes that's just figuring it out. Yeah. You know, that's what we do best. You know, like, we put stuff together, we'll be in the direction, we just figure it out.
Definitely.
So
earlier I got some questions, and I guess I'm gonna kind of shift the conversation for us. Just, we don't have to touch on it too heavy.
Okay.
How many people are invested in real estate? What are your thoughts about getting into real estate?
It's a goal. That's one of my moves I want to get into. I don't know a lot about it, but
for sure, definitely. I'm not as deep as I need to be or I want to be, obviously. But yeah, real estate is something. I mean, I got my toe in it. You know what I'm saying? With my old house, I got that rented out right now, so I got my toe in it. But that's definitely the move, because, like you said earlier, like you got to look at history, man. The way wealth was built in this country was through owning land. That the number one way wealth is built in this country is through owning land, and which is crazy. The number two way through wealth is built in this country is through leaving something for your family, which is, like you said, in a life insurance kind of way. That's the number two way. So I definitely you got to look into those two things.
What was the question again? Repeat the question again. I kind of lost it.
More so, what are your thoughts about real estate? Have you thought about getting into it?
Oh no, before that, your question, Coleman. You had asked a question before he said something about the real estate.
Yeah, I asked if anybody is in real estate. Have you thought about getting
into it?
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on it? So, and the reason I ask is because I get asked this question. I'm in real estate. I'm no guru. I don't claim to be a guru, but I believe that what I've learned, I always try and pass it on. So I always ask the questions, who's in real estate? And the biggest thing I've learned in real estate, man, or the key for our generation to really be successful in real estate and go to the next level is we have to find a way to live for free is how I explain it. So my first house was a cash property. I was sleeping on my mom's sofa. I was dusted, busted, and disgusted, stressed, and depressed. And I took this little $10,000. Matter of fact, I didn't even have a full $10,000. My boy hooked me up with a stack so I could buy this little cash property. And I posted a picture last week on online. The day I bought the house, I was sitting in the car like, now what? I don't know nobody who done bought a cash house. How am I gonna fix this thing? Somebody already, before I bought it, somebody had already broke into the stove the copper pipes out. How am I gonna get that fixed? I just spent every dime I had getting the place. Now what do? Man, I moved in that house and I renovated that house one room at a time. You hear me? And now that house is rented out, making a profit. And then, but while I was living there, my now wife, we had teamed up and bought a duplex together, and it's become a snowball effect, So now between the two of us, we have 9 properties, and I push real estate because it really is a game changer if you want to go to the next level. Somebody on Facebook put a post earlier today. How much is y'all rent? And I put free, and that throws people off when I tell them I live for free. Not in the sense of I don't have lights and gas and
right.
But we live in a multi-unit dwelling. If we own the building, we live for free. Everything else is rented out, and that's the mentality I'm trying to get more and more people to understand. Man, don't get me wrong. I still want the 10-bedroom mansion. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm gonna get it, I'm not the one paying for it. I got to find a way for somebody else to pay for it.
Right.
And that's.
I think the goal is trying to get when you do real estate is just being real and like people getting educated to understand you're gonna have to spend some money. You like people think when you get into it, they think like I'm gonna have this house, but it's gonna pay for this house. Like at some point, you gonna get there. Like before you got your 9. I could be wrong. Like you probably did something I may not know about, but you had to spend some money. Like you said, you had to renovate it out. You had to it's gonna get bad before it gets better.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give, because a lot of people I share that first one example with a lot of people because it was my tax return and a little bonus I got from work that allowed me to buy that house. Right.
Okay.
And to buy a house where the bathroom is missing, or most of the bathroom missing, and most of the kitchen missing, and you think you're gonna live there, I did though, man. By the grace, by God's grace, kept me safe. Wasn't no bad area. That's the area I grew up in. But painted one room at a time. I would sleep there. I would go to my mom's house and take a dump. If I had to take a dump, I would take a bath. Get ready to work, and then I come back and I just kept working on it. And man, I love that house, but I'm gonna sell it. My dude, he renting it from me now. He want to buy it, so I'm gonna let him get it. But I love that house because that was my first one, right?
Yeah.
But when I got number 2, it was the same process. Number 2 was 4,500, but we put a lot of money into cleaning it up, new windows and floors and bathroom and doors and so forth. Then you get to number 3, just wrapped up, you know, and these renovation projects, they hard if you make them hard.
So yeah, that's the process people need to hit. Like I said, like people who don't understand, like you would throw me left if you don't tell me the details on like, because my mind is like, you think of a house, I'm not thinking 4,500. I'm thinking like, you know, 200,000, you know, 300,000. I'm looking at what's now versus I can go get these little properties over here that's been, you know, like ain't nobody trying to buy and fix it up and flip it.
Right. So my homeboy, he always arguing with me. He like, man, you had money. I said, nah, bro. I was sleeping on my mama's sofa. I didn't have no money, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It took me a span of a couple years to get it renovated the way I wanted it. But I got it up to a living standard within the first few months. And then from there, I put in the stainless steel and the so forth. You can't just, the problem is we so ready to jump that we'll go finance a $500,000 home so we can tell everybody, look what I got. Man, you know how proud I was of that home? I'm still proud of that home. But what I try to get people to understand is our neighborhoods are up for grabs, and it's not us buying them. Why don't we buy our neighborhoods, renovate our neighborhoods, and make them what we really want them to be?
Right.
You know,
we complain about gentrification.
Exactly. So to spend anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 on a property, whether you do it alone or you combine your money with somebody else and do it, the long-term gain on that is phenomenal. I'm a believer, right? So I believe every Christian has a Bible scripture that sticks with them. And the one scripture that has always stuck with me was to be the lender and not the borrower, right?
Come on.
So in my mind, I've got to become the bank. How do I become the bank if I don't own nothing, right? And when I say own nothing, meaning that property, I own that. So the money I make on that, I take that and I put it back into the circle, into the wheelhouse, and I turn it over. I don't go out and splurge. I just finally bought me a new vehicle a few weeks ago.
Right.
Sam and them tell you, man, I got chunks of rust falling off my truck. You know what I'm saying?
Man, what?
You finally put Big Blue to rest, man.
Hey, listen.
Big Blue's in the driveway. She keeps
Hey, Vic, listen. That's funny you say that because tomorrow I'm going to look at a whip. Hopefully get the whip tomorrow. But I was just telling Sam, the Ninja Turtle dog, he gotta go, man.
Man, listen.
I got separation anxiety, man. Because you know, when you invest in something bigger, you don't need that stuff right away. That's gonna come.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I have downgraded my my style, which it ain't really nothing but a whip anyway. But
you ain't down. We ain't downgrade our style. What we did was we matched our finances.
We matched our finances.
That's the reality. We matched our cash finances.
So when the gym opened,
we too busy trying to finance what we can't really afford. I ain't gonna go on you with it, but that's really what we're doing.
That's the truth. So when we opened the gym, I've been driving to Malibu, and that month been getting me back and forth. But you know what I'm saying? So that's a loyal, faithful. You know what I'm saying? That's a loyal, faithful side chick to me. And now it's like, yo, all right. So like you said, you just got it because of the Big Blue. Same thing, man. And I'm gonna have to roll because these kids, I promised them I was gonna play sorry with them. But I do want to say this before I dip. I'm not into real estate because I need to have my mind focused on one thing at a time because I get ADHD and then I literally lose what I'm thinking about. But I want to say this though, with any investment you make, learn how to do everything you can learn how to do possibly yourself. Don't pay nobody for nothing. Because everything that we do, am I off? Who's that?
Oh, you're in there.
So everything that we got in the gym, like we do our own editing, we do our own graphic designs, we do our own accounting, we pay somebody to look over that. Sam just got a shirt printer. Like, try to do everything yourself so you can keep all money as much possible in house. When you investing, you using your money, make sure you keep all that money with you, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like my dude told me that when he was talking, my other guy told me that when he was talking about being a rental. He said, dude, I've taught myself how to be a plumber, dog.
Listen,
I taught myself how to be a plumber, bro.
This last project I just did, literally, it was a duplex. I did everything from the demo to the install. And guess who taught me how to do it? YouTube.
Yeah.
I posted the pictures on my Facebook. I think I did a phenomenal job, and I upgraded the whole building at a fraction of the cost. I was just telling somebody earlier today, the bathrooms, I spent $500 on material for the bathrooms.
Wow.
When you look at the bathrooms, I promise you won't think I spent $500 on the material. You're not.
It's crazy. That's a $10,000 renovation if you
$10,000 renovation. Well, look, man. Hey,
I found stuff on clearance and I did the labor. I was on YouTube studying like a mug.
Go ahead, Cool. Go ahead, Cool. Go play sorry. Don't lose, because you're gonna hit the end of it, bro. Don't you lose.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach, man.
Hey, my youngest got me last night. So I'm childish, bro. Well, she ain't going to bed tonight till it's over with. But look, hey, man, this dope, though, man. Y'all hit me up we can do this some more, man. I like this right here. This dope.
Before you go, Coop, I told Willie about this. Something we can talk about is the 4 Faces of Man. It's a 6-part series. What we do is break down the 4 faces of man. You got your king, your warrior, your lover, and your friend face. And we break those down, and it shows how men operate, how we're supposed to operate in each face. And it shows us where our weaknesses is in each face as well, which is huge. Man, it changed me a lot when I got into this group, about 2 years ago, man. That's something I want to do with you fellas is start going over that. We can just break down just one face at a time, man. If we can do that.
Okay.
Let's show us. What was that you held up? What was it? A book?
Yeah, you can go, it's called authenticmanhood.com. You can go on there and look at it. And it's got the whole series, man. Y'all can look at it. Get the books if you can, at least the first one. I got the first 2. I don't have the other 4, but I'm gonna get those. But man, this is how we can start dealing with other young men.
Yes,
right.
Because it takes us alphas to lead and show them a different way. Because too many of the alphas are leading in the wrong way.
Yep.
It's gonna take us to lead the right way and put it to action.
Hey,
what we should do, man, is pick a day, man, where we can do this, and you know what I'm saying, and we can get this popping. I like this right here.
Yeah, we'll talk about that offline. But real quick, I want to make sure I don't want to miss this opportunity to promote something. Next Saturday, we are hosting an event right here live on Zoom. It's going to stream to all the social media platforms. It's called a Jump Party, and the motto or the thought behind the party is you bring your dreams. And basically, the quarantine situation is getting ready to let up. So we want people to step out of this COVID situation on fire to chase their dreams. So we got a DJ. We got a DJ on board. We got we got a DJ on board. We got 3 phenomenal speakers lined up. I thought I had the flyer. I'll post it on my timeline. But we got 3 phenomenal speakers lined up. I promise you it's going to be live. It's next Saturday, 9 p.m. You don't want to miss it. It's called a Jump Party. Jump Party, BYOD. Bring your own dreams. It's going to be lit. Now, if you want to have your beverage there while we getting lit, and it's going to be
I might have a sip or something.
Threaten me with a good time.
I know, right?
However you choose to take that leap of faith and chase your dreams after this COVID situation, that's on you. But I just want people to understand, I promise you, it's gonna be live. It's gonna be lit. I've talked to the 2 other speakers. I'm one of the speakers. I've talked to the 2 other speakers and the DJ. Man, it's lit. The flyer is done. We're gonna post the flyer tomorrow for everybody to see. We're gonna create the event. Listen, if you can join, please join next Saturday.
No doubt.
Sure.
9 p.m.
Hey, y'all stay up, man. Hit me up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Y'all stay up.
All right, bro. Take it easy,
man.
Yeah.
Did he log off? He frozen.
So he's still on.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and kick you out. I'm just gonna kick you out. I got
You kick me in, man. Kick me out, man.
can't find the button. Keeping it real go wrong, baby.
He act like a senior citizen, boy.
Right.
He must have lost.
I do want to post that flyer. So I'm gonna send that flyer real quick to the thing so I can post it to the chat. We can keep talking though. What's next
Yeah,
on the line?
Yeah, this is a nice little way. This a nice way to do this, man. I never really been. I mean, I've done Zoom chats for work or whatever, but yeah, I like this platform. You know what I'm saying? You can share it amongst. Yeah, I like this actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on YouTube. I was like, man, I'm on YouTube answering questions.
Right.
Can I get a poll?
legit.
How old is everybody on this call? I'm just curious.
I'm 22. I just look like this.
Willie, stupid. I ain't messing with Willie.
Nah, I'm 33, man. I'll be 34 next month. Come Mother's Day.
Okay.
Oh, shoot, I'm the old man on the group. 41.
Ooh.
Okay.
41.
And we got Doctor.
And I am 40. I'm right there on the hill. So
okay.
Man.
Okay, I'm 28. So I always like to learn.
We babies.
Yeah.
So we got Similac, we got a baby boomer.
Right.
We got everything. Which is good. That way everybody can give different perspectives on things.
So we got all generations covered.
All generations. Ain't no excuse. No excuse. We on deck.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna get this flyer real quick. All right, there we go.
You trying to share? You try to screen share?
Yeah, it's I don't want nobody laughing because it's still got the watermarks in it. So don't be cracking jokes on my flyer.
Man, I don't even know.
All right, now I gotta make sure I'm sharing the right thing on the screen.
But Sam, so you said for y'all business, y'all do everything. Y'all do as far as like the shirts to the.
Yeah, we try to do everything.
I got a call, fellas. I gotta go. I'm supposed to call somebody.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Don't mess up.
I know, right? I'm only asking this because I get what Coach was saying, and like I said, it's different strokes for different folks. I don't want, and I could be wrong, but I don't feel like everybody can take that route as far as like me being a speaker. Like, yeah, I know how to do graphic. I know how to do, chopping my videos.
Yeah.
So I know how to chop my videos and everything, but there's some things that I feel like it'll take me away if
it'll take you away from what you really want to do, which is what I get. I told Brandon that too when we first started this, but I think we look at it more as we want to learn first. Because all this stuff we're doing right now, eventually we're gonna hire out. You know what I'm saying? When we get bigger as a company, we're gonna hire this stuff out. But I don't want to be fast forwarding to the future. I'm hiring a graphic designer, and I don't know what a good graphic designer looks like.
Correct. Okay, that's understandable.
Because I don't know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because me, I'm in the business of more of like a blessing people. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a gym, you know what I'm saying? I just met you, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? I just met this dude. I still got to step out. I'm gonna rock with him and see this gym how it works out for me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I operate. Like the dude who do my logos and my hats and stuff. Like literally, I met him on Facebook and we built a relationship and we've been rocking strong. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a relationship that I can't take from. I'm just like, he's a blessing because I don't have to worry about like, man, I need 30 shirts. I gotta go. I'm doing schools. I'm doing colleges and, like with books and stuff. So I just be like, but I do know how to do it.
Right.
Oh, no. I was like, oh, no, man. No,
yeah, that's beautiful. But that's good,
I mean,
like we want to, like, I feel you, like, I don't know how that relationship came about between you and the dude that helps does your graphics or whatever. But I'd rather have it like we're eventually gonna find a dude like that to do marketing, to do graphics, to do this and that for the gym. But
yeah,
when you got like ads in the paper looking for those kind of people, or you just looking or you asking people for help like that, it's like you waste a lot of time just searching. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So you don't get somebody that works for you and your business. So if it come about organically, like while we doing this, and somebody come through like, hey, I can do yours, da, 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 and I already know how to do it, so I already know what I'm looking for. I can speak to them about what I'm looking for. It just like it flows a little bit better. So I mean, I feel what you're doing for sure. But for us, we want to learn the business from top to bottom, so we can because our business model. I mean, we own one gym right now, but we want to replicate it. You know what I'm saying? And just keep going further and further. And if we don't know how to explain it to somebody else, maybe whether we want to franchise it or whatever, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why we want to learn the business from top to bottom.
That's dope. So do you plan on replicating yourself? It's meaning like getting many people that you can teach,
and that's
like do what you
exactly that, and that's the part I've been talking to Cope about. Like we definitely want to do that, whether it be I'm saying we got kids, it's teenagers, so maybe whether it be might be them, you know what I'm saying? It might be them, but definitely we want to replicate ourselves in somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I don't know if y'all thought about it, but like setting up a program or like a 6 week. I mean, however long, because y'all lit. Like you can certify them by teaching them. I mean, you know this.
Yeah.
But setting up a program or something like that, like I think that'd be dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. And that's another way to have kids to see something different too.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because
teaching them what, yeah.
Because the island that we on, like I said, it's mostly we're the only black business on there, so we deal with a lot of white businesses. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of our kids, a lot of our, we don't know how to. I say one of the biggest things that have changed me as a black kid in the hood was me working. Like I got a job. Somebody hooked me. One of my white friends hooked me up with a job outside the hood at Black Diamond, right next to Start, Vic. That was my first real job. You know what I'm saying? That was my first real job. And I was the only black dude there, literally the only black dude there. But I was working 30 hours a week. So I was there most of the time and just learning how the other set of group of people lived. There was from Sylvania, you know what I'm saying? So definitely different lifestyle than I lived. So forget the money that I made working that, like just seeing different people, man, and different lifestyles. That changed me for real. So that'll be, having this gym would be a blessing for a kid like me, you know what I'm saying, being able to intern or something like that with us. So eventually that'd definitely be the goal.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So I think we got a lot of good feedback today. What I would like to see, man, is these conversations continue. And for these conversations really would continue, and what I would like to see is once a week, maybe Tuesday evening. We gotta pick a night when folks are home, but two, when everybody else is not crowding the live stream,
Right.
So we'll talk offline about it, but y'all think on that. Maybe a Tuesday earlier in the week, and just carry on this dialogue. And we don't have to be on every week. Each person ain't got to be on every week. My vision is we rotate different people in based on the content we plan to discuss.
Right.
We'll start with a topic or two and let it go like we did today. We let it flow, and we've got a good response in the threads on all the streams. So I think we just continue to build ourselves up, but other people up by sharing our story, our information, our experiences.
For sure. I like that. I like that idea.
Well, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. It's a Friday night, man, and I know y'all can't go nowhere, but
it's a party downstairs. Club downstairs is open right now.
Man. Well, man, it's called Kids on That Sugar. That's what it's called.
Exactly.
Shoot.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. We'll shut it down for the night. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, I'll send the message to y'all, man. I think we pick a day, we do it, but I'm gonna put the flyer out tomorrow. I've been checking to see if she emailed me the final one, and she hasn't yet. But when that flyer come out, man, next Saturday, next Saturday. It's gonna be live.
Yes.
We got a live
Going
DJ.
down.
It's gonna be
Going
so dope. We got a live DJ, man. This is gonna be the livest experience, man. So tell somebody about it. Bring somebody with you. Come ready to have a good time. Sam, don't wear them headphones, man. Hook yourself up to the surround sound.
To the surround sound. I might come dressed up too, man. I might have to put some nice clothes on. For real.
I'm putting some clothes on that day. I'm dressed. This the outside opening up party, right? This the outside opening up, back up party. So we hosting it. It's gonna be here. Wherever you watching this at, it's gonna stream across all the platforms. And it's gonna be dope, you know.
Okay.
So peace, love, and blessings, everybody. And as always, let's take flight. We out.
Let's take flight.
Yep.
All right, bro.